So the cryptocurrency and NFT market are tanking right now. What's going on? Is it time to sell? Is it time to freak out? Is the sky falling? Well, in today's episode, we're going to briefly talk about the thoughts that I have in researching, talking, digesting, listening to some great investors. Let's get into today's episode. NFTs are changing the world, and change can feel complicated and scary. But listen, you don't need a computer science degree. You don't need to learn how to code. You just need practical skills to win.
If you are here, you are in the 1% of humans that are preparing for this major cultural shift. We're going to keep it fun. We're going to keep it light. We're going to make it practical. Welcome to NFTs Made Simple.
Just a reminder, we're not financial advisors. This is not financial advice, and you should do your own research.
Hey, let's get into it.
Welcome back. So Dragon is not here today. He's off gallivanting across Europe, putting on presentations for thousands of people. He will be back next week. But I just felt like I had to hop in here and chat about what's happening. I've been in a lot of Twitter spaces this past week, been reading a lot of articles, watching YouTube videos, because it's kind of a precarious financial time. Bitcoin is down about 25% over the past month. Ethereum is down 29% over the last month. The Fed recently increased the interest rates, 0.5 percentage point. This is the biggest rate hike in 2 decades. Pretty big deal. Stock markets are way down. Just last night, the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 653 points. And just on a practical level, for all you VFriends holders out there, what is up? It's good to see you. You know, I bought a VFriend Series 2 at 1.1 ETH, and now I'm getting offers on this VFriend for about 0.5 to 0.6 ETH, right? So, you know, not only am I taking a hit on the value of the Ethereum itself if I sell it, but I'm taking a big dump on the value of the VFriend itself. So I think the question that we're all thinking about, we're all wondering is this the crypto? Is this the NFT winter that we've all been hearing about? You know, last year in 2021, everyone's saying NFTs are the big deal. They're here forever. There's new projects launching all the time. People are making a lot of money. I have an acquaintance who just never has to work again. He's good. He's done. His life is set because he invested in the right projects when it was cheap. I mean, you hear all these kinds of stories, although I don't like to buy into them too much because that's not me. I'm on my own journey, right? You're on your own journey, and it can be really dangerous getting onto that hype train. That hype train can be a really dangerous train to be on. But again, the question is this the crypto winter? Is this the NFT winter? Is this the beginning of the end for NFTs where 99% go to zero? Now, I don't necessarily think that that's the case. I don't know that that's the case. I just pointed out, it's not just NFTs that are taking a hit right now. It's every financial market. And by the way, I'm going to have links below to all the references that I'm citing. But it's a pretty precarious time. And it's very easy to be fearful when markets take a massive downturn. You start wondering, should I sell? Is now the right time to sell? This is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. I want to quote something by Warren Buffett here, where he says, you know, talking about his investment firm, Berkshire Hathaway, we simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy and tend to be greedy when others are fearful. And I think this is really, really smart financial advice. You know, we're not all sitting on mounds and mountains of cash like Professor Scrooge from the DuckTales or whatever, right? We're not just swimming in gold coins. But when markets take a hit and when Ethereum drops 30% in a month, we have to be looking and wondering, maybe now is a good time to buy. You know, Bitcoin was up at like 70K at a point just less than a year ago, and now it's down to 30. You know, this is like a flash sale. It's a fire sale. And what we've seen historically with cryptocurrencies is, you know, they take a big dip and then they spike up to an all-time high. And I don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. We don't know if Bitcoin's going to go to 100K, but it could. It's possible. I don't know. But this quote from Warren Buffett, I think, is really telling. You know, it's easy to get hyped up when everything is spiking. But when others are greedy, we need to be fearful. And when others are fearful, we need to be greedy. but we've got to be smart. There's so many NFT projects out there. And the last thing we want is to buy into a crap project and be holding the bag. I don't want that. You don't want that. So many hype trains. And, the thing that I think about the most when I'm buying into an NFT is who are the founders? And specifically when talking about the founders, how do they see themselves and what's important to them when it comes to their reputation? There's some people out there that they're just straight up scammers. They're con artists, period. And you know what? I don't think that they're embarrassed about it. They kind of like that. I think of Jordan Belfort from The Wolf of Wall Street. Like, we treat financial crimes as like a slap on the wrist in the world for some reason. I think financial crimes ruin lives and they should be really held to account in a higher level. I don't think anybody should be proud of their bad and poor financial past. I think it's a horrible thing, especially when you're conning people out of their life savings, like Jordan Belfort's. But, if I'm looking at different projects, I'm looking at someone who really cares about having a steady name, that really cares about their reputation, which is one of the reasons why I'm in the V-Friends program, because I think that Gary Vaynerchuk, he cares about his reputation. And Dragon and I are going to talk about this, but I don't see Gary V as being the type of guy who's like, okay, I'm going to sell out now. I'm good. He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that has a reputation. Same thing with Warren Buffett, right? These are the types of guys that I want to listen to and I want to look at. There's plenty of Jake Pauls out there on TikTok that are trying to sell projects. And I just wonder, like, what do these people care about? What's important to them? How do they sleep at night? Because there's so many different types of human beings. The point is, when it comes to actually buying into an NFT project, we need to really look at the founders and get a feel for what is important to them. We had an entire episode on this. I'll put a link here to that episode where we talk about how Dragon and I are selecting NFTs. But I think for me, the key is founders. Who is the founder and what do they care about? The other thing that I want to encourage everyone, I've put a good deal of my portfolio into crypto, into NFTs. And, sometimes people will ask, how does it feel knowing that you've lost all this money so quickly? I mean, like my cryptocurrency, it's down like 30% in a month. That's crazy. It's pretty gnarly. And I think that, it's easy to be kept up late at night when something like that happens. But for me, I'm good. I'm good. Because the reality is that I haven't lost a dime. I have not lost one single penny. And you know why? Because I haven't sold, right? My portfolio goes up, it goes down, but I haven't lost or made any money because I haven't actually realized the loss. I haven't sold when it's low. I haven't realized the gain. I haven't sold when it's high. I just buy and hold. And I'm waiting the 10-year, the 20-year game. And listen, you might have a different investment strategy, but I would encourage you that, and just understand that I'm not a financial advisor, but if you get scared and you sell when everything is down, that's a surefire way to lose the investment game. And, I would just encourage you to be thoughtful about the plans that you're in, and just be very thoughtful when it comes to selling an NFT or selling your crypto when it's down. It could go to zero. That's true. That fear is legitimate, but it could also bounce back. And so, as we talked about what Warren Buffett said, we get greedy when others are fearful. Now's the time to be greedy, I think. Now's the time to be really looking at projects when everything is down. Now's a good time to be buying Ethereum when it's on a fire sale. And, positioning yourself for when that great new project comes down the pike. And, the last thing I want to say is, I've been in a lot of Discords, Twitter spaces, just really listening, looking at different projects. And we're going to be covering those upcoming projects in the coming weeks. So, by the way, if you have not yet hit the subscribe button right now, hit subscribe, smash it, kill it, smash the subscribe, because Dragon and I are going to keep doing the research and we're going to keep bringing it to you so you can think about this. So smash subscribe right now. What are you waiting for? But I would just caution everyone to be hesitant when people are trying to sell you on a project based on the community. And I'm not saying the community is not important. Through the VFriend project, the VFriend Series 2 project, I've met a lot of people. and these are people that have money. When people are buying VFriends for $1,000, $4,000, $5,000, like these are the type of people that you want to be connected with, right? These are people that have money, that are going places, that see the vision that you see, that I see, that we see. Just remember that every single NFT project is selling community. Every single one. There's not one NFT project that I know that's not selling community. So, community on its own, not enough for me to buy in. I want to know the founders. I want to know where they're going. I want to see the vision. I want to make sure that they're not completely over-promising what can be delivered. Again, we're going to be talking about this in a future episode, but the Bored Ape Yacht Club, they have some very ambitious plans. And I'd love to hear Dragon's input. I'd love to share you my input. We'll be bringing that to you in the next couple of weeks or so. But just think, it's not just about the community. Community is important, but it's not just about that. So think about everything as a whole. And I just think that now is a really interesting time. Now is a really interesting time because if you miss the chance to get into NFTs and you feel like you're kind of left out, like me, when you see a bear market, when you see valuations on the coins and on the NFTs drop substantially, as Warren Buffett said, when others are fearful, we get greedy. So I'm going to leave you with that. Make sure you hit the subscribe, and we'll catch you here next time on NFTs Made Simple. My boy Dragon will be back. All right. See you. Peace.